Hi everyone. So it's time for mixed media morsel number 8. And today I thought we would make houses, or a house, depending on what size your paper is, and that will determine how many houses you might want to make. This is what I did last time for number 7. This was the circle page, and I'm going to use the back side for my houses, or my house. I think I'm going to just do one because it's such a tiny little page. Here's what I'm talking about, the idea. This is an old art journal that I have, and I did houses on a 2-page spread. So you can see just by looking at this that it's like whimsical and fun and playful, and so that's the idea. Just to practice, making a house or making a couple of houses, so that when you get ready to work in a bigger journal, you can do something along these lines and, spread out, make a nice little 2-page spread. So to start off with, I'm going to work on the background here, and I think I'm going to collage, put some collage just in the background. So I'm going to use some Mod Podge, and I've got some tissue papers here and some painted deli papers that I thought I would just kind of put some pieces in the background, and they'll get painted over, but you'll be able to see little bits of it peeking through. So there's some napkins here also, just to give it a little texture in the background. It's the idea. So I'm going to just put it in fast forward and start just gluing this down. Okay, so now I have finished the collage and dried it, and I trimmed the edges of the excess paper that was hanging over. And now I'm just going to put a little blue paint in the sky area and green paint in the grass area. No big deal, just kind of slapping it on. I might just use my finger and spread it around, actually. Some cool texture in here from the collage. That's kind of neat. Okay. All right. And we'll get some green on there. I'm going to put a little bit more blue in the top corner here. right, so that's what we want, just a little bit of paint added to the background. We'll dry that. So what I did was went into my scrap bin again, and I want to use some more scraps for this little project. We'll make the house out of scraps, and also I took out some index cards that I had you know, used up leftover paint on, and I got like a little piece of book text and some, these are some scrapbook scraps. But I thought I might want to make my house out of this pink and orangey and green colored card here. So I'm going to just, I'm not going to draw this out or anything. I'm just going to cut, you know, freehand. Just cut it. And if it's a little wonky and lopsided, that's great. There's lots of people who deliberately make wonky houses just for the fun of making them. So I don't know how big this needs to be. So I'm just kind of laying it here and guessing, and think that would probably be okay. I think I want to stamp a little thing on the roof here. I've got a little circular stamp. I want to stamp like a little half circle on this roof. Just make a little design there on the house. So now we can glue everything down, and this is index cards and scrapbook cardstock, so I'm going to use some heavier glue. I think I'll use some matte gel. It's a little bit thicker and it will hold down the heavier pieces better. Now remember, when it looks like your pieces are kind of blending into the background and you can't see them very well, once you outline them and define them, they will pop back up off the background again. I usually doodle on mine also, just to make it more fun and playful. So I'll do something like making scallops on the roof line, like that. I'll hold it up, show you in 1 second. I'm going to use some white on this as well to make sure that that shows up. Okay. If you want, you can take a piece of some of your scraps and you can add a little chimney. I think I'll add one. Look how much more interesting your background looks with all that stuff that was collaged on before we put the paint on. Isn't that neat? It just adds so much. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of white and just make some like cloudy look in the sky. Not necessarily clouds. I mean, you can do whatever you want, make clouds if you want, but I'm thinking I might just put some white streaks in the sky with a little bit of white paint. Just to give the sky a little bit, just some more definition and make it look a little bit more realistic. Not that this is a realistic picture, but, you know, make it look more like sky. Makes it more fun and playful is all. I'm watering down this paint just a little bit. Wet my brush and just so that it's not real thick and heavy. I just want to kind of stroke across the background just a little bit. And so you can see how they're not like really clouds, but just kind of definition in the sky. I wanted to make a little tree. So this is like, I'm thinking like a spring type picture, you know, like where the leaves are just beginning to come out again. So in other words, I'm not going to fill up the entire tree, you know, full of a big bushy leafy tree. It'll just be a few that are coming out here and there. And I decided to go back, since I'm making it a spring tree, I'm going back and adding a little more of the lighter green, because that's more of what you see in the spring is the brighter green leaves. But the dark still shows up a little bit, which is good. So it's like a shadow, you know, or gives it definition. And then you can do some fun things like put some flowers in the grass. I'm going to put a few little pink flowers here and there. It looks like there's flowers poking through here. Anyway, in that background collage piece has some pink and yellows in it. So I'm going to do a little pink and a little yellow. And just, you know, dot some flowers here and there. I think I'll do the same thing, probably just use the end of the Q-tip. And there was not much cotton on the end of that that cotton swab. Instead of a filled in dot, it was making more of a circle. So I'm going to go back and add like a little bit of white in the center of those. And if you don't have like a Posca pen to use, you can use white paint and just use a stylus if you have one. I've got a stylus that looks like this. Just has a little, it's metal on the ends, and it has a little different sized ball tip. And so you can dip that in the paint and then just dot it right where you need it. So I think this white might be dried up here. Maybe there's a little bit left there. Oh, that was too watery though. I don't want it to be watery. So we're going to add a little bit more out. Regular or thicker paint. So you just touch it to the paint and then touch it where you want, and you get a circle. Tap it off if it's too much. Like that first one had a little bit of excess paint, and you can tap it off and have less on the stylus. I want to put a little walkway, like a little path coming from the door there. And so let me just see if I can cut a little piece of this paper just to make a little path that kind of comes out from the house. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did before and just mark this so I can trim it to go underneath the bottom edge of the house. So we'll go like that. And get a little bit more of my matte gel. And I could just keep going on, and I want you to do the same thing. Just keep going and adding to your picture until you have as much on there as you want, and you're happy with it. But I'm happy with this the way it is, and like I said, though, I may still add more. You just never know with me. I have a hard time stopping, but if I don't stop, this video will go on forever and ever. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a fun time making your little house or houses, and be sure and post your pictures in the Facebook group. And for those of you who are maybe just joining us and you're not aware of it, we do have a Facebook group for the Mixed Media Morsels, and the link will be in the description of this video. And so come on over and check it out and join with us and share in all of this fun stuff we're doing. And like I said before too, if you come over to join and you do not get approved right away, it's usually within a few hours. So if you don't get an approval, check your messages, your message requests, and see if we have sent you a message, because we may have, and that might be the holdup. So check there, and everybody else, I want to see your little houses. So we'll talk to you all soon. I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks so much for watching. Bye, everybody.